Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me today. The US, the UK, Canada, and the European Union all voted at the WTO to block access for vaccines for the Global South to a certain extent. So basically, what this would have done is it would have allowed poor nations in the Global South to speed access to COVID-19 vaccines and treatments by temporarily lifting World Trade Organization rules protecting intellectual property. The idea here was that they would temporarily lift these restrictions so that poorer nations could very freely and without having to pay licensing fees begin developing their own versions of the vaccine for their local populations. These nations that I mentioned before have voted against this because, and I quote, the representative said that they are concerned that freeing intellectual property, even temporarily, could reduce the incentives for corporate research. So we're basically, again, letting profits come above and beyond people. Profits over people, right? Even though it's people that allow you to make your stupid effing profits. Oh, God. This is so infuriating. And this doesn't even touch on Canada having to pilfer vaccines from the Global South's supply because we can't manufacture our own. But I want to stay focused on this video. So if you want to see and understand just how bad Canada's vaccine rollout is and why, it's because of privatization and capitalism really sucks. David Dole and the Rational National have a really great video that sums up how and why Canada has bungled the vaccine rollout so much. But I want to talk about this because this is once again something that has many different factors at play, right? So beyond just being terrible against poor and developing nations because, oh, well, no, our corporate profits, nah. So that's going to cause later rollouts in the Global South, which means the rates will pick up in the Global South, which also means that terrible grifters and fascists and nationalists and, oh, I'm not, anti-immigration, I'm anti-illegal immigration. All these people who deep down really don't like anyone who's darker than the shade of porcelain, they will use this as an excuse to drum up fear and say, no, we can't let them in. They'll bring the virus in, the literal, unwashed, diseased brown masses. That's what's going to happen. And that is a very unfortunate event that could have been prevented if only we had decided to not be greedy for one moment in our lives. And yet apparently under a capitalist system, that is impossible for us to accomplish. It is all the more reason why capitalism should be utterly dismantled and destroyed for the sake of the planet and for the sake of humanity and human decency. We have the ability to take care of everyone on this planet. The amount of collaboration and research that went into finding this vaccine is unprecedented. Imagine what would happen if we all collectively pooled our resources into, again, addressing climate change, wealth inequality, access to housing, the food supply. Imagine if we didn't have to think about profit for one stupid minute and actually helped our fellow man. And instead of being greedy and worried about, oh no, how will the markets react? Think about your fellow man that shares this planet with you and breathes the same air and faces the same struggles, the same obstacles, the same lack of access to basic services that we in the West take for granted. All this could have been avoided, but we are not avoiding it because profits over people. It's shameful. It's disgusting, it's horrifying, it's depressing, and it's absolutely what's bothering me today.